Well, as more details of Steve McNair's death emerge, everybody is forming opinions about how number 9 lived his life. Former teammate Eddie George refuses to change his thoughts about McNair. Our Eric Yutzy visited with Eddie last night, and we join Eric live at LP Field with reaction from Eddie George. Eric?
Hope, yesterday, Eddie George was driving back to Nashville from Atlanta when he received word about McNair's murder. In fact, it was Eddie who told Titans head coach Jeff Fisher. Well, after making that call, he drove in silence, just trying to comprehend the news. Late last night, I sat down with Eddie at his home, and he tried to put into words the numb feeling from a devastating day.
Shock, denial, then acceptance. That's how it usually goes, right? Well, I can definitely tell you I'm still stuck in between shock and acceptance. I didn't lose a teammate, I lost a good friend.
Eddie George cannot fathom the pain felt by McNair's family today. After hearing news of his good friend's murder, George went straight to Steve's Nashville home to console McNair's wife, Michelle, and young sons.
You're looking on Tyler's face, and the pain that boy is experiencing now is unbelievable. Knowing that he could never go fishing with his dad again, or throw a football, or get advice from his father. And that's the toughest part, are his kids. And how they're looking at the news and hearing things and dealing. How do they put that in perspective? I'm a grown man, and it's tough for me to do that. And I'm not from Steve. I mean, I've been around Steve. I played with Steve. We hung out together. But this is an intimate connection. It seeds his legacy.
What do you want to know about the last 24, 48 hours?
You know what? It doesn't matter at this point, honestly. I guess on some levels you want to know, could it have been prevented? What was the situation? I don't know what Steve could have done to anybody, from what I know of Steve, that would provoke them to do this result. And that's what is mind-blowing. For all the years that I know Steve, and I know that he didn't have a side to him that we all didn't know about, but it's just not right the way he went out. It's just not right.
As athletes, McNair and George will be forever linked. They were a force on the field and in the locker room, constantly motivating teammates and each other to reach for greater football heights.
Did you look up to him?
Absolutely. You know, he gave me strength. When he played hurt, I had to play hurt. You know, it was no, well, I'm not feeling very good today, or my toe was hurting, or my elbow was swollen. Nah, he just led by example. You know, Steve was the spirit, and I was the voice. You know, we shared the same desire to win, and we spoke the same language.
George prays that the lasting legacy of McNair won't be of his murder or infidelity. Instead, George will try to rest on his own personal interactions, but it won't be easy.
It's difficult. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to sleep tonight. It's I guess, you know, when you finally get to sleep and you wake up, you just hope that it was a bad dream, but yet the reality sets in. I don't think this is something you'll ever truly get over. You never get over something like this. He'll be sorely missed. And that's the one thing people probably don't get, is that, yeah, he was a warrior on the field, but his heart was big, man.
You said Steve was the spirit, you were the voice when it came to that locker room. What voice can you provide to those who are waiting for some sort of comfort?
It doesn't serve anybody to really be mad or angry. At the end of the day, you know, that doesn't bring him back. At some point in time, we have got to uplift his family. And it's okay to cry. You have to go through these periods. In the end, the money, the fame, all of that means nothing. It's what you do in that little dash, that the year you were born and the year you exit that place. And that's that little dash of life that you have. And that's what people are going to look at. And I think he's definitely had that impact.
It is a lasting impact for those who knew Steve intimately. Now, Eddie credits McNair with helping him through what he calls the darkest moment of his own career. That was leaving the Titans. Ironically, that's something McNair would experience just a year later. Now, George says he will not put the bulk of his energy in mourning his friend Steve McNair. Instead, he is going to celebrate McNair's life in a way only a teammate and friend could do. Live at Riverfront Park, Eric Yutzi, News Channel 5 Sports HD.